What if the Avengers are about to face a villain they can't beat? What if even Earth's mightiest heroes aren't enough to stop Doctor Doom? Because if that's true, there may only be one option left, an army of heroes who have already died. And if Thor can open the gates of Valhalla, the fight might be bigger than anything the MCU has ever seen. Welcome back to Popcorn Pistols, the channel where we talk movies, break down film history, and sometimes ask the questions nobody else is asking. Because movies aren't just entertainment, they're moments, they're nostalgia, and sometimes they're cultural events. And when it comes to the MCU, fewer ideas are bigger than what happens after a hero falls, because in this universe, death might not be the end. For years in the MCU, death felt permanent. When a hero fell, that was it. Their story was over. But everything changed in Thor: Love and Thunder. In the post-credit scene, we see Jane Foster arrive in Valhalla, where she's greeted by Heimdall. And in that moment, the MCU confirms something huge. Warriors who die in battle don't just disappear, they go somewhere, they wait. Valhalla isn't just an afterlife, it's a place for heroes who fought and sacrificed everything. And if they're still there, it raises a massive question. What if they're not gone for good? What if in a moment of absolute desperation against Doom, they could return for one final battle? If Valhalla exists, then it may already be filled with some of the most powerful warriors the MCU has ever seen. We know Jane Foster is there, we know Heimdall is there, but they might not be alone. In Norse mythology, Valhalla is a peaceful resting place. It's a training ground. Warriors prepare every single day for one final world-ending battle. Now think about that in the context of the MCU. If Doctor Doom becomes the kind of threat that can challenge the entire universe or even the multiverse, then the Avengers might not be enough to stop him. But an army of warriors who have already fought and died for something greater, that's a completely different level of power. And if they've been waiting, then maybe they've been waiting for a moment exactly like this. This is where Thor becomes the key to everything. As the god of thunder, Thor has always been connected to realms beyond Earth, but now that connection could be the Avengers' last hope. If Doctor Doom proves to be too powerful, too prepared, and too far ahead, Thor may be forced to do something we've never seen before. Open the gates of Valhalla. Imagine the moment the Avengers are losing, every plan has failed, Doom is unstoppable. And then the sky begins to crack. Lightning tears across the battlefield. A portal opens, not to another planet, but to Valhalla itself. And out of it march the fallen. Heimdall steps forwards once again. Jane Foster lifts Mjolnir. Warriors who already gave their lives return for one final fight. In that moment, this isn't just a battle anymore. It becomes a war between the living and the legacy of those who refuse to stay gone. And if this actually happens, it wouldn't just be another MCU battle. It would change everything. Because for Thor, this fight would be personal. Thor has lost almost everything. His father, his mother, his brother, his home, and so many of the people he fought besides. But Valhalla changes that because it means those sacrifices weren't the end of their story. Imagine Thor standing on that battlefield, not just leading the Avengers, but standing alongside the very people he thought he'd lost forever. And against a villain like Doctor Doom, someone who plans for every outcome and stays 10 steps ahead, the Avengers will need more than strength. They need something bigger, legacy. Because an army of fallen heroes doesn't just bring power, it brings meaning. And that might be the one thing even Doctor Doom can't control. So what do you think? Could Thor really open the gates of Valhalla and bring back an army of fallen heroes to stop Doctor Doom? Or is this power too dangerous even for a god? Because if this theory is true, the battle against Doctor Doom won't just decide the fate of the Avengers, it could decide the fate of every hero who's ever lived. But the next Doom theory might be even crazier, because in the next episode we're asking a wild question. What if Deadpool sacrifices himself to save Love, the daughter of Thor? The merc with a mouth becoming the ultimate hero might sound impossible, but if it happens, it could be one of the most emotional moments in the entire MCU. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Doom theory.